So balance scorecard is a performance management framework that can be used by organizations to track the execution of key activities and the consequences arising from those activities. So the main theme is it is related to performance management framework. So actually performance management is also part of the human resource management. So that can be used by organizations to track the execution of key activities. Okay. So the main aim of this balanced scorecard approach is to track the execution of key activities and the consequences arising from those activities, and what are the situations or problems arising from those activities, what are the consequences. Then you have to monitor these two things in a balanced scorecard approach. So Robert S. Kalpan and David P. Norton authored the balanced scorecard concept when they published the balanced scorecard translating strategy into action book in 1996. So the concept is introduced by these two people, Kalpan and David P. Norton. These two people are introducing this book, this concept, and they wrote a book on this concept. The name of the book is Translating Strategy into Action, the Balanced Scorecard Approach in 1996. So it is 400 pages book almost. So they are completely explained about balanced scorecard approach. So the main theme is translating strategy into action. That means how we are converting the strategy into implementation. So how we are implementing the conversion process of the strategy into implementation, that is nothing but translating strategy into action. So the main focus of this book is translating strategy into action. So how we are implementing the strategy. Then we read this book, then we are able to understand how we are converting the strategy into action. The balanced scorecard is a mixture of financial and non-financial measures that are monitored target values within a single management framework. So the balanced scorecard approach as measures two things, financial things and non-financial things. Okay. So and within a single management framework. Okay. So the balanced scorecard is not a replacement for traditional financial or operational reports. So actually the balanced scorecard is not a replacement for traditional financial reports. That means what are the financial reports? Balance sheet and ledger and trial balance. All these are, and after that ratio analysis. Okay, and comparative balance sheet. So these are all comes under financial reports. So it is not a replacement of these reports, but is a method. Most relevant information or metrics can be determined and monitored. So what are the important things in the financial reports? Financial information you have to monitor and measure these things. The balanced scorecard monitors the links between leading inputs, human and physical processes. So what is the how we are linking human with physical inputs? It is mainly focused on these two things, how we are linking human with physical things, processes and lagging outcomes, and after that processes and lagging outcomes, and focuses on the importance of managing those lead and lag components to achieve the organizational strategic priorities. Okay, so and after that importance of managing those lead and lag components. What are the lead components and what are the lag components? So how to focus on these things and how to manage these things and to achieve the organizational strategic priorities, and how we are achieving the organizational strategy. Okay, so then after that, this diagram is taken from the book is written by Robert S. Kalpan and both of the others. So in that book, this is a diagram. The main theme is represented in this diagram. So vision and strategy. The main thing is vision and strategy. So vision means how we are in future and how we are what we are expecting in future in our business. So what is the position of our business in future? So that is main thing is vision and strategy. Strategy means it is nothing but a wise plan. So the strategy means how we are converting this strategy into action. So that is nothing but these four are nothing but actions. So the strategy is converted into the actions. So what are the four things is financial, internal business, processes, learning and growth, and customer. Okay. So what is the financial things? Okay, what about financial things? So everyone, there is a four things, important things: objectives, KPIs, targets, and initiatives. So you have to find out, list out these four things. Okay, what are the financial objectives, and what are the financial KPIs, and what are the financial targets, and what are the financial initiatives. Okay, so you have to list out in this box, that is owners. So there is some spaces there, cells are there. So you have to fill the cells with that data. So KPIs, objectives, KPIs. KPI means key performance indicators. KPI means, KPI stands for key performance indicators. Okay. So remaining all are common: objectives, targets, and initiatives. All of you know. So what about financial? In financial, to succeed financially, how should we appear to our shareholders? Okay. So that means, in shareholders perspective, how the company is, that means the company is in a stable position or not, or company's performance is satisfactory or not. So the shareholders always monitoring these things. Okay, so because they are invested in our company, so they are always want to get profits from the organization in the form of dividend. So you have to issue the dividends regular time, in regular time intervals. Then you have to, the company always shows better performance in the form of how to increase the share value of the company in a legal manner. That is very, very important thing. Okay. So after that, internal business processes. So after that, another important thing is internal business processes. So internal business processes means, to satisfy our shareholders and customers, what businesses processes must we excel at? Okay. So the main thing is internal business processes. Okay. So internal business processes means, to satisfy our shareholders and customers, what business process must we excel at? That means what type of business process you have to follow. So that will be satisfy the needs of the shareholders and the customers. Okay. So the business process is very, very important. So what we have to follow, that means what type of business processes you have to follow, that will be satisfied by shareholders and also customers. Okay, that is very, very important thing, internal business processes. So for this also, objectives, KPI, and targets, and initiatives. And after that, learning and growth. So learning and growth means, to achieve our vision, how will we sustain our ability to change and improve? So how we are changing our ability, and how to improve our ability, and how we are how we are sustain with our abilities. Okay, so to achieve our vision. So with this, you have to achieve our vision. Okay, so that is learning and growth. For this also, objectives, KPIs, targets, and initiatives. And after that, customer, coming into the customer. So to achieve our vision, how should we appear to our customer? So in customer view, how we are appeared? So in customer perspective, so what is the appearance of our organization? That means the customer is trusted our organization, our customer is ready to buy our products. Okay, so that is the customer perspective. So what is the opinion of the customer in our, on our organization? So for this also, objectives, KPIs, targets, and initiatives are there. Okay, so this is the simple overview of the balanced scorecard approach. So after that, so the BSC method of Kalpan and Norton is a strategic approach and performance management system that enables organization to translate a company's vision and strategy into implementation. So the main theme is that, so how we are translate the company's vision and strategy into implementation. So working from four perspectives. So it is achieved by these four perspectives. One is financial perspective, another one is customer perspective, and third one is business perspective, and fourth one is learning and growth perspective. Okay. So then the BSc financial perspective, first one is BSc financial perspective. So Kalpan and Norton do not disregard the traditional need for financial data. So they do not disregard. That means they completely focus on traditional and financial data. Both are very important in their perspective. So timely and accurate funding data will always be a priority. That means timely, accurate data, and that is related to funding. So the data is always giving a top priority in the balanced scorecard approach, and managers will do whatever necessary to provide it. So always the managers should provide this necessary data. They are providing the data to the those who are performing, those who are working on balanced scorecard approach. They are provided. That is very important thing. The managers is ready with the data whenever we are asking. So in fact, often there is more than enough handling and processing of financial data. So the handling of the financial data is very important, and also processing of financial data is also important. So with the implementation of a corporate database, it is hoped that more of the processing can be centralized and automated. Suppose you have to take the corporate database. That means we are hoped to more of the processing can be centralized. The data processing is centralized. That means from server, you have to process all the data, and automated. The data is completely automated. So, but the point is that the current emphasis on financial leads to the unbalanced situation with regard to other perspectives. Okay, so point, very important point is current emphasis on financial leads to the unbalanced situation with regard to other perspectives. So what is the unbalanced situation which is caused by financial leads? That means so current financial leads is cause of unbalanced situation in the organization. So that is not a good thing. There is perhaps a need to include additional financial related data such as risk assessment and cost benefit data in this category. So for that purpose, you need have to include additional data, that is financial related data, and also risk assessment data, and also cost benefit data. You have to include all these things into balanced scorecard approach. Then customer's perspective. So according to the customer's perspective, so recent management philosophy has shown an increasing realization of the importance of customer focus and customer satisfaction in any business. So because every business is only focused on customer's perspective, because what they are expecting from our product and our service. So we have to focus on the customer satisfaction. So that means customer focus and customer satisfaction in any business. So without customer, you can't run any business. Okay, we are unable to run the business. It is an impossible thing. So that's why you have to focus on the customer satisfaction, how we are satisfy the customer needs and requirements. These are leading indicators. So these are the leading indicators. So if customers are not satisfied, they will eventually find other suppliers that will meet their needs. Okay, so if customers are not satisfied with our product or services, they will eventually find other suppliers. They are moving to another one. That means suppose they are using at present Samsung TV. So they are not satisfied with Samsung TV. Then ultimately they are going to another one, that is Sony or something, LG or something. Okay, because there is a huge competition in between electronic companies nowadays, because they are offering, every company is try to offering with low cost. Okay, so they are attracting the customers, and also they are improving their market share. Okay, so ultimately you have to fulfill the needs of the customer. So poor performance from this perspective is the leading indicator of future decline. So you are showing a poor performance, then ultimately in future your business in a decline stage. Okay, so already we are discussing in the product life cycle. So the decline means you are exiting from the market. So even though the current financial picture may look good, right now your financial position is very good, but in developing metrics for satisfaction, customers should be analyzed in terms of kinds of customers and the kinds of processes for which we are providing a product or service to those customer groups. Okay, so the customer satisfaction, that means you have to develop the metrics for customer satisfaction, and should be analyzed in terms of kinds of customers. That means you have to group the customers depending upon the demography or age group or something. Okay, so or psychological things. Then you have to group the people and what they are expecting and which type. Suppose A group people are needing, suppose expecting something, and B group are expecting something, and C group are expecting something. So the needs of the customers are changed. Okay, so those who are having the same needs, then you have to group that people into a single group. That is very, very important thing, and you have to provide the best service, and you have to provide a best product to that customer groups according to their requirements. So, and after that, the BSc business process perspective. So it refers to internal business processes, metrics based on this perspective, allow the managers to know how well their business is running and whether its product and services conform to customer requirements. Okay, so this matrices based on purely business internal business process. So this allows managers to know how well their business is running. That means how the business is running, whether it is in a good manner or a bad manner. So is there any problems in the business, and whether it's its products and services conform to customer requirements. So it meets customer requirements or not, and we are giving services to the customers in a good manner or not. So these metrics have to be carefully designed by those who know these processes most intimately. Okay, so this is very, very important. How we are, you have to very careful to design these processes. In addition to the strategic management process, two kinds of businesses process may be identified. So according to the strategic management process, you have to add two things: mission-oriented processes and support processes. Okay, there are two things included in the business process. Mission-oriented processes are the specific functions of government offices, and unique problems are encountered in this process. So it is mainly focuses on special functions of government offices. So and many unique problems are encountered in these processes. Okay, and after that, the support processes are more repetitive in nature. These are repetitive. So it's a chain process. So and hence easier to measure and benchmark using generic metric. So then you have to measure and benchmark using generic metrics. So that means what we are in a general form. So you have to easily measure. Okay. Then learning and growth perspective. So it includes employee training and corporate culture attitudes related to both individual and corporate self-improvement. Okay. So it includes employee training and corporate culture attitudes. So what are the training related issues, and also corporate culture means, that means every company has some culture, that means working culture. So to both individual and corporate self-improvement, these are for both individual and also corporate self-improvement purpose. So in a knowledge worker organization, people are the main resources. So suppose the organization is focused on mainly knowledge workers, then this is very much useful. And also in the current climate of rapid technological change, so there is a rapid change in the technology in present situation. So nowadays the technology is changed from day to day. So it is becoming necessary for knowledge workers to be a continuous learning mode. Okay, so the knowledge workers are in a continuous learning mode. So that is very necessary for knowledge workers. Okay, so they are continuously focused on continuous learning process. So then only they are upgrading their knowledge. So government agencies often find themselves unable to hire new technical workers, and at the same time is showing a decline in training of existing employees. Suppose if we are take an example of example in telecommunication sector. So right now, so the Jio is in a top position and Airtel is also in a good position. The remaining Vodafone and Idea and also BSNL is in a not in a good position. So suppose if I take an example of BSNL situation right now, so the BSNL is only still now they are focusing on how to implement the 4G technology in India. Right now, they are not providing the 4G services in all areas, but the remaining private companies, that means Jio and Airtel, they are already planned to launch their 5G technology. Okay, so that means these two people, that means Jio and Airtel are having the technical people. They are having good technical people and good knowledge people in their organization. Then only they are implementing these type of technologies very fast manner. But BSNL doesn't have this type of people because they are it is a government owned company. That's why they are recruiting only in a traditional manner, so on test basis. But in the private sector, they are only focus on how the knowledge of the people, that means how much knowledge they are having and how much their skills they are having, and they are useful for our organization or not. They are only seeing the performance of the employee and knowledge of the employee and skills of the employee. So that is the difference in between these things. That is the importance of this thing. Okay. So Kalpan and Norton emphasizes the learning is more than training. Okay. So learning is more than training. So Kalpan and Norton are focus on their they give importance on learning. So not for training. So it learning is more than training. Okay. So it also includes things like mentors and tutors within the organization, as well as that ease of communication among workers that allows them to readily get help on a problem when it is needed. So they suggested the management, they are arranging some mentors and tutors to motivate and to resolve the problems which are faced by the workers in the workers while they are performing their activities. So how to resolve that problems? Okay, so the tutors and mentors are helped to these workers in doing their jobs. So it also includes technological tools such as an intranet. So the in this purpose, for this purpose, you have to include technological tools such as intranet. The integration of these four perspectives into a graphical appealing picture have made the BSc a very successful methodology within the value-based management philosophy. So what diagram already we have to suppose already have to see. So that is very, very important. So successful methodology, BSc is a successful methodology within the value-based management philosophy. So those who are running their business on value basis philosophy. So for that organizations, this is very a successful methodology for these type of organizations. Okay. So this is about balanced scorecard approach. Okay.